Tonight's meditation is a short talk followed by a long meditation. We usually do this on the last Thursday, the last meditation class of the year, but that will be Thanksgiving. So instead of doing this talk then, I'm going to give it now. We're talking about being grateful, being thankful, and I'll try to kind of weave it into some of the themes of this week and just the holidays in general. So this is something that we really should talk about more often than just once a year, but it's something that I make sure to talk about every year around Thanksgiving. It's something that I'm pretty good at, but can definitely improve on, and I'm sure that most of you would agree. You can always be a little bit more thankful for the things and people in your life. And this is one of the most important factors in being content and happy in life, is just being thankful and recognizing the boons in your life, being really appreciative, rather than what most people do naturally, which is to just focus on the negatives and focus on what's wrong and what's missing. So I'm going to give you an example from our challenges this week. The internal challenge is to spend one day without your cell phone. Now, this is one of the hardest challenges that we do all year, and I dare say that very few people are actually going to do it. But if and when you do, I want you to tell me all about it. You can email me from your cell phone the next day or come to class and tell me how it's going. And it's really interesting because the cell phone is incredible. You have like all of the knowledge of the world in the palm of your hand, and you can talk to people across the globe in an instant. You can look up anything that you need to know. You can listen to music, you can watch TV or movies. It's truly incredible. I have several hundred of my closest friends that I keep in touch with on Facebook, and there's no other way. I'm still one of those old people that uses Facebook. I have no idea when anybody's birthday is, but Facebook tells me when to tell them happy birthday. And I'm still in touch, some people a little bit more closely than others, but with people who I haven't seen in person in 20 years. And it's really incredible, so much stuff. And yet, you know, if you have a cell phone, that it is also truly terrible. Like, one of the worst possible things for you to have in your life is this cell phone, because it first of all, it's become the way that we interact with the world and each other. It is like the window through which we view everything. It's how we get our news, but it's also kind of how we see ourselves in each other. It's become so important to have like a really good looking internet persona, the way that you angle your pictures just right, and all of this stuff is truly awful. The worst part of it, in my opinion, is that you're just constantly getting like pinged with reminders to read your email, to get this text, to get this phone call. Or let's say that you have a moment of silence in your busy day. What's the first thing that you do? You reach for your cell phone and you fill it with some kind of noise. So while we should be very thankful for the technology that allows us to do these incredible things, I will say that we should also be able to set it aside, and that on one level will help you be even more appreciative of it. You will really appreciate how you can, look up anything and have all this power in the palm of your hand. But you will also very much appreciate just the simple moments in life where you're not having everything filled with noise, constantly being bombarded with some kind of sensory input. So sometimes the best way to appreciate something and to be truly grateful is to set it aside, or not see somebody for a little bit. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I will say one of the things that I'm the most grateful for in my life is my martial arts, and especially my meditation practice. And since I started almost 25 years ago, meditation really only about 22 years, but I have not missed meditation. Maybe there have been some days where I missed like a 24-hour period, and so I meditated extra the next day. But I've had a really strong, great meditation practice. But there have been days and weeks and sometimes even months where I've had a real slump. And a lot of these meditations are just like token meditations, where it's like I sit and I'm there for a couple of minutes, but it's not really great. And then it's like I'm done and that's it. And in those times, in those slumps, I appreciate my meditation practice so much more because I start to feel myself going insane. I feel the thoughts and the noise building up and getting more and more, anxiety. So those are the times that I realize, like, I need to sit. I've got to meditate. And oftentimes that's the way that it goes. When you really start to miss something is when you start to appreciate it when it's gone. So try with your meditation practice and the other things that you know are really great for you. Try not to have to miss it and no longer have it be there or no longer have it be so present in order for you to really be thankful and grateful. This is, again, the key is the things that you do have in your life. The things that you already have right now, be grateful for them. And when we can focus on that which we have already and be grateful for it, that is going to be so much more helpful to keep us happy and content, especially when placed up and set against the opposite of this, which is what most of us do, is spend a lot of time thinking about the things that you wish you had. And a lot of these things end up being physical, material things. One of the best things I heard on this subject was, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was like one of the founders of PayPal or one of the founders of a company like that, and has plenty of money, but he decided early on in his career, I'm going to be a Prius guy. I'm not going to be a Ferrari guy, because you get your Prius and it's like, I'm happy. I got what I want, that's it. I'm not always looking for the next thing, because if you are a Ferrari person, as soon as you get that Ferrari and you got the red Ferrari and it looks so good, and then you see somebody drive down the street with a white Ferrari and you start thinking, well, I thought I wanted the red Ferrari, but that white Ferrari looks so great. It's cooler in the hot sun in Southern California. I really want that white Ferrari. Or you see a Lamborghini drive by and you think, oh, this Ferrari isn't crap compared to that Lamborghini. That's really what I want. There's always something more to have. There will never be an end to the things that you can wish that you had. So that's what we call the cycle of desire, or the hedonic treadmill. And when you're on it, it's like a treadmill, it's like a cycle, and you're just going, and it's very hard to escape. You always try to search for the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and there is no end to that. So what do? You step out of it, you jump off the treadmill, you get out of the cycle, and you just are totally happy and thankful, grateful with what you have. This is the simple yet profound secret to happiness that Buddhists have known for thousands of years. This is it. The secret to happiness is to be happy with what you have, not try to seek more. So when we meditate, which we're going to start in a few minutes, I don't want you to actively do this, at least for the whole meditation, but this is a great practice for us to have, is preferably daily, you spend some time just mentally going over the things that you are truly thankful for. And it might be a super short thing. You just spend a minute. Zelda, grab me that little piece of paper that's folded up next to my stuff, please, and bring it out here for me. It might be just like, I just look around me and I see the people and I see the stuff that I have, thank you. Or it could be something a little bit more thought out. So I received this really wonderful note from one of the students today, and I'm not reading this to you to toot your own horn. This is really all about this great student. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but This is one of the kids in class. And this is just one of the most genuine, wonderful things that I've ever received in all of my life. He says, "Dear Sifu, this Thanksgiving, I want to share my gratitude for you. Thank you for being there for me, being someone I can talk to and always pushing me to be the best I can. You make me feel like I can be who I am around you. I appreciate how kind, supportive, and honest you are. You always help me feel better on a bad day, and you always put a smile on my face. I'm super grateful for how much you care for me. Thank you again for always making me feel happy and enlightened." Wow. I read this to you because he's spent a lot of time and he's very specific with this, and he's really getting into the whole world. And when he's writing this, he is really feeling, he's allowing himself to truly feel grateful. And he goes on to say, "P.S. I made this at school, so this is why it's wrinkly. It was also the writing prompt." So this was a homework assignment that he had, apparently. He didn't tell me this until the very end. But very sweet. Obviously, it brought tears to my eyes to read this. But this is what kind of inspired me to want to give this talk tonight. This is it. This is one of the best things that we can do for ourselves at any time of year, but especially during this time. Find the people, find the things in your life, whatever it is about your job that you can be thankful for. Some of you are going to be spending a lot of time with your family, like me, and it will be so easy to get pulled into the mindset of being annoyed. Our family knows us so well that they are the best people in the world at pushing our buttons and pissing us off. And I can almost guarantee that many of you will, over this holiday season, start to feel less than grateful for your family, or at least less than thankful to be around them at this time where everyone's rushing around trying to make things happen. You got 10 people in the kitchen trying to cook at the same time. You got all the stress of organizing everybody and everything. And it is of the utmost importance during this time of year to take a step back, take a deep breath, refocus on that which we are grateful for. And as a specific drill, you can put together a very comprehensive list of the things that you love about this person, or you can just write down one or two things. But at the very least, when you see somebody who's really annoying you, and this is a loved one, even though you're not feeling the love for them right now, you know that this is somebody who you really care about, just step back, take a pause from that cycle that you're on where you're starting to get annoyed by this person and you're thinking about the ways that they're making you angry. Step back and think about the ways that you love them and the reasons that you're so thankful to have them in your life. And this will make you much more bearable to be around, and it will make the people that you're spending time with much more bearable to be around. The best time to do this is not when you need it the most, because that's when it's the hardest to do it. So try to kind of lead into the holiday season, and maybe oh, there's this wonderful family member who I'm going to be spending time with tomorrow, and I know that last year we started talking about politics and it didn't go so well. But preemptively start to think about all the reasons that you love them. Preemptively start to list the positive characteristics and really connect to it. It can't just be a list. It's got to be something that you feel like this. It's got to be something that you're really kind of pouring yourself into. And then when those little annoyances start to come up, they're not going to touch you because you've been practicing. You're going to slip right back into that wonderful state of consciousness. So back to our meditation. You might choose this week to spend a couple of minutes at the beginning of your meditation. Maybe you think about one person, or maybe you think about all the people that you know you're about to spend time with over the holidays, and actively come up with the reasons why you're thankful for them. And at the very least, you can come up with the reason that you're thankful for them because they challenge you and make you a better person and make you work on being more patient. Whatever it is, you can find something. And then try to let that go and just slide into your meditation. But you'll enter into the meditation with this really this wonderful sense, this light sense of being thankful and grateful for the way that life is and the way that the people in your life are right now. And you can practice that during your meditations throughout the week, or you can just set aside some time while you are just awake and doing life to spend in that state of mind. So let's sit comfortably. Because it's a longer meditation, I'll spend a minute going over posture. Very important if you're going to do a meditation that you can go and grab something if you want, so that you have a good way to sit, because if you are sitting uncomfortably and your legs start to fall asleep or you start to fall asleep, that's not going to be a very good meditation. So we sit with the spine straight. You can sit kneeling or cross-legged. You want your hands at the juncture between your abdomen and your thighs, so basically where your hips are. You don't want your hands to be sliding down because this will cause your whole posture to suffer. So your hands are up here. They can be together, stacked on top, or they can be separate. Your shoulders roll back and relax. Your chin is parallel to the ground, and the eyes are closed and upturned to the point between your eyebrows. So this position of the eyes is important. You are associating this position with a raised consciousness, and it helps you not to fall asleep. That same neuroscientist was talking about how when we focus upwards on like the physical space where the brain is, the interesting thing is that there's no nerve where you're feeling any kind of physical sensation in your brain itself. So that's one reason why raising your eyes can help you be present, because you're no longer focusing on the physical sensation of the body. You're just focusing on that lack of physical sensation. But we also usually do focus on the breath. So along with having the eyes up and focused on that position, we are feeling the breath. And we'll start off with a short breathing exercise to really quiet the mind and oxygenate the blood. Start with all the breath out. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it at the top for a few seconds. And out through the nose or the mouth. Breathe in through the nose always. Out through the nose or the mouth. Make sure you're breathing from the belly up. Breathe out from the chest down. So it's a nice, full, deep, complete breath. In. Hold at the top. Out. In. Hold. Out. Last breath. Inhale. And finish with a double exhalation. And let the breath come in. Let the breath go out. If you want to spend a few moments focusing on what you're grateful for, you can do that. But ultimately, you're letting go of all thoughts, worries, and cares, and just being totally present in this moment. This breath is the only thing that matters and the only thing that exists. When your mind wanders, let it go. Gently come back to the breath.